Tenderloin's high-density living, multi-story apartments. It's a very dense. There are 35,000 people that live in within 5 square blocks. In an area like the Tenderloin where there is such a scarcity of open space, I think it's kind of surprise that one could imagine the possibility of a forest emerging, erupting, if you will. We're standing in the Tenderloin National Forest, which is in the heart of the Tenderloin in San Francisco. The redwood was the first tree to break ground in 2000. It was 12 feet when we brought it in here. It didn't look like it was going to make it. Actually, it felt like we'd committed a crime against nature, bringing a healthy tree to die in this alley. It took a few years, but look at it now, so glorious. Followed by that Japanese maple, and then the cherry, the redbud up front. I describe Tenderloin as a place of first resort and last opportunity. Back in 1987, this derelict alley was largely just for garbage dumping and illicit activities. The ground that you're walking on used to be just a cement walkway, a service area for garbage trucks. We got a grant to commission Rigo 23, an artist originally from Portugal, to create a piece called Cultural Geometry. The patterning in this walkway references the original people of the area, the Ohlone. It references their basketry design elements. He brought a stonemason, Jose Fernando Cardoso, who broke every rock by hand to implement this design. The idea that stonework, people travel slower and will be more considered on a surface like this and often I walk around here barefoot, whereas I wasn't so inclined to do that prior. Back in '87, as a fledgling arts group, I think our focus was art and culture and creating community, sense of place. Often at that time, back in the '80s, people would move in and try and move out as quickly as possible. In most houses that I visit, people hang around the stove. And so we felt like part of community building is the oven, the kitchen. It's a mud straw brick oven with a limestone thin set. The classic Orno is a cultural reference for many of the people that live in the Tenderloin. It's a little bit of a transgression with this project in that it wasn't exactly permitted, but we thought we would make it as a temporary art piece. And it actually satisfied someone from the fire department. So we informally have been able to keep going with it. We bake here at least twice a month now, pizzas, breads, yams most recently. Going back a bit, we started with the visual engagement. This is the Guardians mural by Johanna Potig, who's one of the earliest muralists in the Tenderloin. She worked with youth from the Vietnamese Youth Development Center in creating these ceramic accents to the piece. Followed by Brett Cook's Lives, which were portraits of neighborhood residents in a spray enamel graffiti style. After that, it's just been like a complete unfolding of visual engagements here. The bear, Luca, is a female Kodiak, Our Lady of the Alley for the oldest known resident in the alley that Alicia McCarthy made around her kitchen window. So this was another, major impact of having this happen. No one could open their kitchen windows back in the day. It just was too unhealthy. So this is Leonida's kitchen window, and we exchanged pleasantries and recipes, and she has this beautiful view now of the cherry tree that we planted for her. And Julia Glanville over here designed and created this wattle-and-daub structure. We were granted a lease arrangement with the city at $1 a year, as long as it was open at least 20 to 30 hours a week for public programming. We just felt like this action of transforming this space, we felt it could contribute to the grounding of a neighborhood through its, the parks that have developed since then. And there are a number of them now, and a number of secret gardens that have upcropped throughout the neighborhood.
Is this a secret garden?
Well, not any longer. It was